competitive individual.
All right, give him a
Here
wave,
we go.
everybody. Give him a clap. Give him some fist pumps. Nice. You know, I just noticed this 205's got VGs on the front of the wing, too. It's got to help him a bit today.
There he is all the way from the
everyone's got
Pacific
VGs
Northwest.
today,
These
yeah.
guys flew the heck out of these planes to be here to compete and put on a show for you.
All right, so we're lining up for the third and final run for heavy touring today.
So now's when these guys are going to get a little crazy. Not crazy, I wouldn't say crazy, but they're going to push maybe their edge a little bit. Now this is interesting. Brandon's taking off with flaps in. Oh! Now he had a little bounce there, so you count the second one when your tires leave the ground for good. So he had a little settling there. All right, Aaron, let's see what your answer to this one is, bud. This guy's going to go out and plow some soil with that tail, I guarantee it. What? There it is.
There we go.
You're going to plant some corn in that when he's done. Oh, and he kept it up. Nice work, Aaron. Now, both of Aaron and Andrew are from the same town in Washington, so these guys travel around together, so I imagine they're competing all the way down here.
And that's not a short flight.
No. There it is. Keep it up. Keep it up.
And you can really see the advantage of those manual flaps there. Like, he definitely got a burst of lift much sooner than the other two there with the way he applied those.
Yeah.
Here comes Bill. You're right. That is just a really pretty plane.
It's beautiful. Straight tail one. Now, I just, for some reason, I keep wanting to call it a 172 just because that's what it looks like, but it's straight tail 182. Come on, Bill. Grab those flaps and rip it up. There he goes.
You go.
Wow.
He's just got to keep, yeah, he's fine. Sometimes you'll see a little bit of sink back down depending on what the wind does, but we've got a nice breeze today, so probably less likely. Folks are on the, looks like the base leg coming back around. Let's see if I can sneak in a sponsor message. Acme Aero, let's talk about Acme Aero's focus. Their focus is to provide products that make your aircraft safer, lighter, and perform better overall. You'll see Acme Aero stickers and things all over a lot of these aircraft. Acme Aero, land where you want, which is what this is all about.
I'll tell you what, I'm actually fortunate enough to fly with Acme Aero shocks and gear legs on my Cub, and I will tell you, talk about a superior product, but their customer service is unbeatable. If you're flying in the backcountry, I urge you to check out Acme Aero. All right, Brandon, you're on the board. You have a scratch. Now hold that puppy up there and slam her in. Show us something.
Got to get on that power.
Get it. Get it. Get it. He got stopped quick, but I'll bet you right now he is in there saying some words that we would not say in front of the ladies that are present today.
Definitely started to lose a little bit of that lift before the line. We heard him here apply some power. That power, of course, giving him a little bit of that that float a little bit further than he probably wanted to be.
All right, get off that runway because here comes Aaron, and he's coming in kind of hot. I think he's going to slam this puppy down. Get up, Aaron, get up.
He made it.
Boom.
Nice.
Get that thing stopped. What did we get Aaron at? Looks like about 202 feet for a stop. Wow.
And that's, I just want to talk, like, stopping.
203 feet.
Wait, was your guess 302?
I said 202.
Oh, 202. Got it.
That right there, ladies and gentlemen, is the shortest landing of the day in the heavy touring. He went all in.
So what I was going to say is just think about the last time any of us flying that don't do this kind of flying have stopped that short.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I could land my 172 and stop by the end of the course here.
Well, 99% of the flying, you would never need it. But as I flew here from Reno and I kept looking, flying over some of those mountains, I was looking down and I kept thinking, if I have an engine stop, where am I going to land? And there were some spots that I'm sure glad I have this kind of training. All right, Andrew, he's in the books. He's got a conservative one. Let's see how he plays this one. Boom,
Whoa.
right on the line. Get
Excellent.
on those brakes.
Excellent.
Oh, my goodness. Oh.
We'll get you a score in a second.
Woo. 194 feet in a Cessna 182B. Wow.
That's bonkers.
100.
You think it's bonkers, right? Yeah. I like your shades, by the way. They look good. All right, here comes Bill.
All right, Bill. William can't hear us. Bill, I'm yelling at you. You got to beat 194. I hope you can hear me. Chop that power right on the line, on the brakes. Oh, my goodness. What are we going to see here? Ugh. So competitive.
That, to me, looked like the closest to the line we've had.
Yeah. Okay, we're getting a review on that one.
So what that means is that they're going to review the footage from the line camera
now,
to make sure he didn't scratch.
Yeah, yep. If you guys had a good time watching these guys in the first round, give them a fist bump, give them a clap, give them a whistle, hoot and holler for these pilots. Went out there and did it. We get to see them again. Nice work, gentlemen. Nice work, gentlemen.
Yeah,
get these boys fired up.
Whoa, so I just heard in the ear, in our earpieces, Bill on the line there, good by an inch.
Now that's an angry inch for Bill.
Nice job on that. Good by an inch. Doesn't get much closer than that.
Now, as they park those heavy Tourings, let's see, what do we have coming out here next? We have
I think it's phase
some light
two.
Touring.
Phase 2, I think.
Oh, is this phase 2?
Yeah, because we've got the Helio, right? The Helio Courier.
Oh, we do. Charlie Ross in that shiny plane. And Trevor, I tell you what, he's got that plane so shined up.
When it's time to recover and paint your fabric-covered aircraft, look no further than AirTech Coatings. Since 1982, our FAA-approved system provides you with a shiny, durable, easy-to-apply product. The AirTech system has fewer steps than any other product on the market today, saving you both time and money. While using cutting-edge technology, we offer a wide range of products. Whether it's for work, play, antique, or aerobatic, we have you covered. Remember, we make paint fly.
You ain't seen nothing yet.
Yeah, I got that right turn. We're good.
Let's meet up at the compound group up.
At 10-4.
Yeah, for sure, dog.
Good little driver, straight on through.
All right, here we go, folks. We're getting ready here at the Husky National STOL Competition, Lonestar STOL, Gainesville, Texas. And on the line now, we have a pretty unique aircraft. We've got the serial number 1. It's called OL number 1, serial number 1, Helio Courier. Just a legendary bush plane there.
Now, isn't it interesting that 1954, that's the bush plane, and you look at those tires, and then look at the tires most bush pilots use today. Those were the real OGs.
Yeah, absolutely. Here he goes. And I'd just like to point out, that's a big plane.
That is a monster of an airplane. All right, here we got at 206 for Charlie. Next up is Don Mickey. He's flying a 1953 Cessna 180. He said he never polishes that thing. I have to disagree because I feel like if I don't wash my plane, it goes to poop in a hurry. But never polishes it. It's the first year for the 180. Let's see what he does with that thing. Come on, Don.
There we go.
There it is. Now, if you notice, Don warmed that plane up for quite a while. He's from Albuquerque, so his density altitude when he practices 5,200 feet. He was telling me this morning he's got to really get that engine up, and he warmed it up nice. He got off the ground at 198 feet. Nice work, Don.
Now we got some of the Fat Tire Cowboys, the local contingent here, coming up to the line. These Cessna 180s. We got a 185 on the line now. These are maybe what you think of kind of now, where the Helio Courier was the OG. You know, kind of around that same time, we're starting to see these 180s come out. These are what you think of now. I was talking to Brian, who's on the line right now, actually, this past weekend.
Let that puppy eat, Brian. Let that prop eat.
There we go. He was telling me that these 180s and 185s are in such high demand right now because they're still such high performers after all these years that you can't even insure them for for what they're worth anymore.
It's just an impressive airplane. And again, it's not just the airplane guys, it's the pilots that are flying them. These guys just masters of their craft. I love to watch it.
I guarantee you I could land any of those aircraft really long.
Uh-huh. That's a great guarantee.
Okay, so we've got the Helio turning, looks like right base right now. And while we do that, let me tell you about Ladd Gardner Aviation. Looking for aviation insurance, you can look no further than Ladd Gardner Aviation Insurance. With an extensive team of professional aviators, they're going to give you the attention you deserve. Building a relationship with an agent that you can trust and who has a work ethic second to none. Ladd Gardner Aviation Insurance is aviation protected. And now we've got the Courier off and low to your left. And look at how full span, those flaps are massive. Just hanging down there.
Here he goes. Get that thing stopped. Wow, those little tires are on those brakes, aren't they? See them skidding? All right, we'll get him off the course. 194 feet for Charlie.
Again, think about that in comparison to the other aircraft that have landed that are much smaller than the one that we did. The one that we just saw. That was a tongue twister if I ever had one. And now look to your left. Let me distract you by directing your attention to the left. We've got a nice little line, conga line of aircraft on final.
Here comes Don Mickey, and fly it like you stole it. Now, they report these winds at about 5 miles an hour. I have to think they're a little more like 10. So that's going to help these guys.
Yeah, the windier, the
Come on,
happier the
Don.
pilots
Come
are.
on, Don. Oh, nice run.
His aircraft, kind of interestingly enough, kind of the reverse of another heavy touring competitor, Warren Grobelar, who's kind of the one to beat in the circuit.
If I tell you what, 157 feet for Don on that one. Now, I tell you what, if you've never gotten a chance to hang out with Warren Grobelar, you're missing out. That is, I got to spend a week with him in Reno, and it's a week I'll never forget. I miss you, brother.
Here comes one of the Fat Tire Cowboys high into your left. This technique you were talking about in terms of getting out of ground effect or coming in it.
Oh, got a little bounce there. Well, let's get her stopped.
Braking so hard, the
Come
tail's
on,
coming
Corey.
up. There we go. He's got it stopped. The side of the Courier says on it, serial number 1, build 1954, capable of 30 mile per hour controlled STOL flight.
All right, we're getting planes off. We got another plane coming in. Carey just landed. So this is Brian Rose, and he is just hanging that plane up in the wind. I would love to be under that plane right now and see if he's actually even moving.
Brian, actually, I had Brian on my my little YouTube talk show this past week. We talked a lot about STOL. Fat Tire Cowboys is interesting to get a little history on that. He was saying that he felt like he was one of the first people posting STOL content on Instagram. And maybe some people would beg to differ there, but basically
he's
hovering
just
it
hanging
in.
that plane. I tell you what, Ryan, I learned more from your show, Super Aero. If you guys get a chance, you check out my friend and partner here, Ryan, of Super Aero, and you watch some Everything Aviation. Hold it up there.
Oh, a scratch.
Gummit, Brian. Didn't get one in the books. Man, he hung that plane out there. Everything Aviation. Hold it up there.
Oh, a scratch.
Gummit, Brian.
Make sure to give him a fist bump or a fist pump. I guess you can't really fist bump them right now, but give him a fist pump. You can wave at him. I really like where our announcer's booth is right now. We get a nice little, that exhaust coming across. Gets me so excited.
Boy, look at those sharp airplanes, huh? That's the stuff dreams are made of.
Yeah, Brian was joking with me before the show today. He was saying, oh, mine's kind of, it needs a little work here and there. And I look at it right now. I don't know what you're talking about, man. That thing is beautiful.
Oh, it's beautiful. Okay, so here we go with this Helio. He's got his flaps down. Those are some massive flaps. Now, are those flaperons, do you know?
I don't know, but I would imagine they have to have a little bit because the ailerons then are they would only be the edges. There's not a lot there.
I got to find that out. A lot of guys now in STOL drag are using flaperons just because they get that lift so fast. And STOL competitions in general. I mean, it's just... All right, so he winds that airplane up. Like I said, he's from high density altitude, so he gets that puppy warmed up. Now here's a guy that I was talking to him earlier. He said he'll never miss another Husky National STOL. He just got 180 feet. As this National STOL travels around the country, we get these guys from all over, and you just get hooked. I have to believe it's a lot like a cigarette. I wouldn't know firsthand, but my friend Jeff Pohl does. A Piper Cub up there. A J3, why isn't he competing? All right, we got Carey in the air. Beautiful Cessna 180. And next, Brian. Nobody likes a one-upper, but he's up there in a 185. 277 feet for Carey.
I'm reading about the Helio Courier on Wikipedia because that's what all good hosts do. And it says, there goes Brian. Tail up. I love it when the tail's up.
Oh, wow.
There we go. We'll wait to hear what that was good. Anyway, it does have ailerons. It says they're small. It says in Wikipedia they're small. It's only the last 2 bays of the wing. Or the
Really?
ailerons.
How long is the wing spread on that?
Oh, I gotta dig deeper. That's a good question.
I mean, it just seems like those wings stretch away across. I was surprised it wasn't hitting those flags.
Wingspan 39 feet.
39 feet on that.
And for the super hardcore av geeks, that's a NACA 23012 airfoil.
Well, okay, I'm learning something every day.
Yeah.
See, Ryan, that's what I like hanging out with you.
Because I use an iPhone to
I walk away
Google
a little
stuff.
better and a little smarter every single time. All right, in our earpieces, we were just lied to, but we're about to get the truth. So our shortest so far in this heavy touring was Andrew Patry. And
yep.
what was the score on that one? 289? 297. 297 feet. That's combined, folks. He had a 103-foot takeoff. 297 feet combined is amazing.
That is quite ridiculous. The kind of the metric I use sometimes to talk about these is how many F-14 Tomcats is your takeoff, and that would be two F-14 Tomcats.
I approach it like I approach fishing. I always say it was about this long.
Here's the Courier. Guys, just hovering in.
Puts that thing down and gets on the brakes. Gosh, the nice thing is he can slam on those brakes and his tire isn't lifting very heavy in the back because it's such a long airplane.
That's an aircraft typically empty weight of around 2,000 pounds. A maximum takeoff weight 3,000 pounds.
Wow.
That's a heavy airplane.
Well, hence the name, the Courier. He's looking to curry some stuff.
Yeah, it's got to go up a mountain with some stuff there.
If I was looking to curry something, I think I would go with the Courier.
It's in the name. Kind of fun. We're getting a little extra bit of our air show. Just the local traffic taking up there. Is that a Tomahawk?
Well, there's been a lot of trainers going up, and I'll tell you what, nothing would make a new pilot more nervous than looking at a whole crowd judging him. So I wish we had some signs we could give them some scores on their takeoffs and landings. Here we go with Don.
Taking that
Don's
lower approach.
Riding that prop. Oh!
Now I bet that's going to go to review because the tail can hit in tail draggers. The tail can hit before the line.
Yeah, they'll review that one, but I think I saw some dust come up and they just confirmed it, and it was a scratch.
Not going to be super pleased about that.
Okay, so just like last time, we have Carey coming in. He's taking a higher approach. Looks like he's just hanging that airplane up there. I should have run a stopwatch to see just how long it takes him to get on his final. I have to believe that every time Carey's on final, we have time to introduce another sponsor.
Yeah, well, should we have a little race? Let's see what we can do here. Should we talk about AirTech Coatings? Since 1981, oh no, it's a long paragraph. 1981, AirTech Coatings has been revolutionizing aircraft paint. They utilize polyurethane technology and they offer the aircraft owner the advantages of toughness with that polyurethane wet look. AirTech coatings will make your paint fly.
That paint, now he uses AirTech coatings. That plane
Whoa.
flies so much, he kept flying and flying.
Woo! Heavy on the brakes there for a second, got my heart pumping, but he got it under control.
Doesn't that get you shaken up a little bit? I love it. Now, when you're in the cockpit, though, you feel like I've got this thing in control, so you ride those brakes a little longer than you might otherwise. Makes us our heart rate jump up a little bit, but inside he knew what the heck he was doing.
Hey, I'm Chad, and I am Legend. So once I decided I wanted to buy a bush plane, a Super Cub, before I began my research, I had never even heard of Legend aircraft. I had heard of a couple different manufacturers, and that's really what I started with when I started researching. It was only through doing different Google searches and getting on the forums and hearing about this Legend brand that I began to really research them. And what I know today is Legend aircraft is the best kept secret in aviation. It doesn't appear to me that they spend their money on a lot of marketing and advertising. They spend that money on research and development and into building a great product. Another factor for me, aside from the build quality differences, the willingness to customize, the customer service, their willingness to sit down and almost do a kind of a ground-up one-off creation. On top of that was the other manufacturer that I was looking at. If I were to spec out this plane as close as they could get, I was getting less value, a less rugged, less sturdy, not as well built airplane, and an airplane that ultimately at the end of the day was not exactly what I wanted. That plane spec'd out at about $100,000 more than the Legend aircraft version. And what I ended up with here with the AmeriCub was exactly what I wanted out of a bush plane and out of a Super Cub. And Legend aircraft was willing to build that for me.
And we are back from our broadcast commercials. And again, thanks for hanging with us, folks, while we get everything tidied up here from that little nose-over prop strike incident. Did hear that, of course, Carrie is okay. Going to be bummed out about the aircraft, of course, but you can always fix airplanes, even older ones like this. So good news that Carrie's A-okay. They're going to get the aircraft sorted out and off the runway, and then we have to do a safety check of the runway to make sure that it is safe to compete on. Meanwhile, you see that we've got Brian's aircraft on the line ready to go because he still needs to come in and do his final. And the judges have just informed us that the next takeoff won't count, obviously because he was halfway through the run, but his landing will. So when he's ready to go there, he'll fire it up and go around and get his last landing in. And then we move on to light touring, which is very exciting. Again, you heard me nerding out about light touring before with the Cessnas and things like that. Lighter Cessnas. And the man himself is coming up to the booth. I'm going to give him a little fist bump.
What you need to know is we got him out of the airplane. He said, did I win?
I don't know if you can hear that. Brian just said that they got him out of the airplane, and he said, "Did I win?"
A true competitor.
That's good that everyone's in good spirits over there. Always sad to see a vintage aircraft like that get banged up a little bit, but
You know, the one thing about that is he did win one thing, and that was he got my heart rate going higher than anyone has yet. But, you know, Ryan, what do you think of today with the weather, the winds the way they are?
I was going to pull that up, and maybe while I pull up the current conditions, if you want to chat just a little bit about what you're looking for when you're coming in with winds, what helps, what hurts.
Well, yeah, obviously in flying, you don't want a headwind when you're traveling, but when you're doing STOL, you want as much headwind as you can. You know, it not only helps you keep that airplane slow, but you can get a little more stable. You can just hit that spot and land. The other thing that I would, you know, talk about is that it helps avoiding nosing over. But when you're competing as hard as some of these guys are, you know, it just happens. Just really glad that everything's okay with Kerry, and he's walking around right now. We won't even tell him that no, he's not winning, because we'll make him feel like a winner.
I wonder. I'm sure they measured it.
Well, we can go measure his prop.
We can go figure, figure where it was. So wind conditions, right? Let's talk a little bit about that right now, so everyone can feel it. It has warmed up today since this morning. That will, of course, affect density, altitude a little bit, but we're relatively low here in Texas compared to maybe in Reno, where people were doing STOL drags last week. Winds right now, just to give you the overview, 210 at 6 knots. Visibility, a beautiful 10 miles.
Does it give you the gusts? I feel 6, but every now and again it feels like we get a gust of about 10 to 12.
Yeah, I mean, I was worrying about that, but there are no gusts reported at the weather station here at the municipal airport.
Well, one of the hardest working women on the airstrip and in National STOL is Anitra. And Anitra Goddard was telling me that the wind never blows in Texas. Now, is she kidding me or what?
I think that might have been a little sarcasm, Anitra. A little sarcasm.
Because I watched this live broadcast last year, and I got to tell you, I'll mention it again, it looked like my friend Jughead was going to blow away. Even his tuxedo tails were blowing around. So you know it was getting it.
So I want to, without giving away too much about Jughead, when you get home tonight from National STOL, go. Sorry, I'm hearing in my ear we're about to start up, and it's hard for me to talk and hear at the same time. You go Google John Jughead Council. For folks who don't know, that man has had an interesting life, an interesting aviation life.
Yep. Fighter pilot survived something that less than 1% of pilots do in his situation, with an eject situation. He's on YouTube with his dog Dakota, John Jughead and Dakota Council. They fly all over the country. They land in places you just shouldn't land. And the way he flies with that dog barking in his ear, giving him instructions, it is an impressive thing. Because I'll tell you, Dakota likes to tell John what to do.
I got to say, one of the only disappointments for me this year is that I never got to announce. I mean, you're great. But I never got to announce with John this year.
Hold on, I'm starting to feel like the cheap ticket.
Oh.
Hey, we couldn't get Jughead, but we got Colin.
I'm pretty sure it was we couldn't get Jughead, so we got Ryan. That's what they told me.
Oh, that's funny.
All right, Brian.
Well, Jughead, we miss you, brother.
Jughead, we should just chat some night, man. It'd be good to get to know you. So here's Brian on the line. Okay, you talked about the psychological factor. He's going to have that in his head now, that someone did and all the competitors today, and that's going to be something that they're thinking about with how aggressive they are, because they've seen one of their close friends kind of get bit a little bit.
That's his buddy, man. That's his wingman. So want to remind you guys that this landing does not count, or this takeoff does not count, but his landing does. So he's going to go up and get in the pattern. Hopefully he keeps that pattern somewhat tight. Now, I don't know if you can hear me, Brian, but don't be flying
Brian,
up into Oklahoma again.
We're all waiting, Brian. So again, I agree with you. I was going to say something else, but I want to point out the gusts. We're feeling a gust right now in the tent.
Yeah.
And so gusty weather, and you can correct me if I'm wrong because you're an actual competitor. Here goes Brian.
Now every time a tail lifts, everybody's going to be biting their bottom lip to make sure that tail comes back down.
So the gusty conditions can hurt you and they can help you, right? So if you time it right, so we'll talk, Steve Henry is going to be competing later today, and he talks a lot about, he times his takeoff with the gust, try to get a shorter takeoff. He has little telltales on his wings that he'll time it with. It can hurt you too, though. If the gust goes away and you're configured for that gust speed, you can lose some lift right when you don't want to lose it.
Hey, while he's in the pattern, I'll talk about another sponsor. Let's talk about Clemens Aviation. Now, Clemens Aviation is a family-owned operation located in Wichita, Kansas. They're proud to offer one of the most unique operations in the aviation industry. They cover aircraft sales and management, flight testing, maintenance, and airport development. If you're ready to take off, come and see why the combined family expertise makes Clemens Aviation the superior choice. But let me tell you, I've had the distinct pleasure to get to travel around with their son Austin.
Austin
and get
Clemens,
to,
yeah.
I really got to know Dwayne and Julie. And you talk about a family that cares about aviation. Top-notch people. If you get a chance, shake Dwayne and Julie's hand. Tell them I sent you. And you'll get a big Dwayne hug because the guy's the coolest guy in town. And you're going to get to see their son Austin fly. And that kid, I say kid, but he's actually just a superior young man. Good kids don't happen by accident. It is a family-run business, and they are just in the aviation family. Clemens Aviation.
Austin, of course, made waves in the National STOL circuit at the beginning of this year when he started competing, because he brought that Husky with the reversible prop. That does give him an advantage, but it also adds a layer of complexity to the piloting he's doing. And we saw at Swamp STOL in Louisiana that the timing was hard for him and some of the runs to get everything exactly right. Because you think about the workload as a pilot, everything your body is doing at that moment, add a little extra bit of having to throw the prop in reverse and get that part of your brain working too. So he was out beating up the pattern, just practicing and practicing Swamp STOL. Got it good, but it's not. It can help him again. Everything in aviation, right? It can help you and it can hurt you in terms of your scores.
You know, I met Austin 2 years ago. He was 17 years old, and he was flying the pants off of a Stearman. And I said, man, you are just one heck of a stick. And he said, thank you, sir. And I asked him how many hours he had. At that time, he had like 2,000 hours. 17 years old. I mean, the kid just was raised in a cockpit. He's just a phenomenal. So, yeah, it used to be a secret weapon with that beta prop, but now everybody knows his secret. And now his secret is he's just a great pilot.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing too, is there are runs that he was competitive on.
Oh, look here, Brian's got that thing in a slip.
Getting it down low.
He's coming in. Boy, we haven't seen too many guys slipping in today. He must have thought I'm going just a little fast. All right, Brian, hang that airplane up there. Isn't that just a great profile of that airplane coming in? Beautiful. That's the stuff T-shirts logos and T-shirts are made from.
I think there is a T-shirt.
All right, hold that thing up.
Hold
it up.
He's over the line. Good.
Now he's thinking about his buddy. He's not going to bring that thing up. Yeah. There you go. Nice work, Brian.
All right, there we go for Brian. We'll get you the number in a second.
You know, so that was our last in the heavy touring. That was a big class. You know, they run.
No pun intended.
Oh, that's right. Well, it was actually unintended. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so we're not even going to take a commercial break and let me wet my vocal cords here. We're going to get right into the light touring with who do we got here? Number 3 is the Dirty Bird. Now, folks, I just had the pleasure of traveling. He's from Malacca, Minnesota. I'm from Lincoln, Nebraska. We met in Cheyenne, Wyoming, and flew a big circle around our country to get here. And I'll tell you, there is about 100 people that I would rather travel with than Jeff Pohl. That's a joke, because Jeff Pohl is one of the best of the best. Come on, Jeff, let that dog eat.
Jeff's the one to watch.
About 100.
Light touring.
Woo. Now, Jeff was new to STOL a couple of years ago, flew up to Valdez, and people were talking about how tough the competition was, and he'd never been in it. He was a rookie. Makes the trek up to Valdez, and very nonchalantly walks away with a second place. Here we go, Clayton. Here we go.
Okay, so again, let's talk about light touring class for a second. These are your 150s, your 152s, your 170s, 172s. We've got Cherokees, like you see taxiing up to the line right now. The way that we define it in the books, gross weights 2301 to 2499 pounds. So that's the light touring class. So the heavy touring class, for comparison, 2,500 to 3,600 pounds.
All right, so this is interesting. We've got a Piper Cherokee flying in this puppy, and that's a Cherokee 180 flown by Jeff Abrams.
So I watched Jeff compete at Swamp STOL in Louisiana, and he got a lot of really, really positive feedback just from being a Cherokee pilot doing a STOL competition. It's not what you normally think of, but I think...
Well, Jeff's from Ocala, Florida. He's flying that 180. He's an airline pilot for UPS.
And then this is the first competitive Stinson in National STOL history, off the ground there. Love a Stinson.
Flown by Crandall, I'm sorry. And, well, where's he from? In Arkansas. That's super cool plane. Now, is that... Oh, he's from Allen, Texas. All right. Let's see it, Crandall. I want to talk to him about that plane. That's a beautiful airplane.
Stinsons, I have a little bit of a reputation because a lot of them still have the old Franklin engine that's hard to support depending on who your AMP is. A lot of people convert them to a Continental Lycoming, but really sweet. I just think one of the more beautiful kind of four-seat tail draggers that you can get there. I guess I just love all the airplanes. All right, here we go. Here comes Jeff, low and to your left.
The Dirty Bird. He calls it the Dirty Bird because Jeff doesn't like to clean his bird. And I'll tell you, watch the precision that he flies this thing. Holds it off, slams it right on the line.
Oh, that's going to go to
Get
review,
those brakes on.
Excellent.
Nice work, Mr. Jeff.
So much for a conservative first round.
No, there is nothing Jeff does conservative except for vote.
I'm hearing the rumor is that it could be a scratch, but they're reviewing it right now in the booth.
Oh my gosh, and Jeff Pohl scratched. He's not going to like that. Right now he's going to, I almost think he's going to shut that plane off and come over and kick dirt at the line judge.
Okay, here we go. Low and to the left.
All right, Clayton, let's see what you got. Be conservative here, Clayton, because Jeff just scratched. You'll get in his head if you get a good run. Oh, scratched on that one. All right, so my philosophy of doing your first run conservative is not, I don't think this class heard that speech.
Nah, they just got bored watching the heavy touring guys play it strategically. They thought, let's go YOLO.
If those guys got bored watching that excitement, then they're in the wrong doggone place.
Yeah, no kidding. And that was that's a 172. Clayton and his 172.
He calls that thing, fly it like you stole it.
And separately, 172 typically, if my AvGeek knowledge is like, normally that's a nose wheel airplane.
Yep.
Here's the Cherokee.
He did a conversion. All right, all this guy has to do is get stopped, and he's in first place. He'll get in these guys' heads now because he's got one in the books.
And they're going to be mad because they're the high-wing mafia, right? So they're like, oh,
yeah,
low-wing Cherokee on the board, and I'm not.
I'll tell you what, that Jeff is a heck of a guy, too. Just fun to hear his stories. Flies packages around the country for UPS.
Oh, so I was going to say, Clayton, I want to ask Clayton about his 172. I believe that would have been a modification to make a tail wheel.
He came over and talked to me about that. He did the mods on that, or had the mods done, and did the conversion. All right, here comes this Stinson.
This is history being made, folks. First landing of a Stinson in national STOL history.
You know what's interesting is that plane looks purple coming in, but it's actually navy blue.
I think he saved it.
Oh, that's got to be purple, and he did not scratch. That is beautiful. Nice work.
Nice.
Now,
I don't know if anyone skimmed the grass that close yet today. That was something else.
Now, on our sheet, that plane says his colors are yellow over blue. That's kind of like that wedding dress on the internet, because to me, I see purple. There's Jeff.
Jeff didn't even want to look to fist bump us back. He just fist pump us. He's
All right, crowd. Look at this Stinson, and you raise your hand if you think that's navy blue. Raise your right hand if it's navy blue. Raise your left hand if you think it's purple.
I see one left hand, oh, I see a right hand and a left hand.
Yeah, I see mostly left hands. So we got to get old Crandall pulled out of that cockpit after this and tell him to readjust his. I think that man might have some color blindness. Or maybe I do, but looks purple to me. Here we go, Jeff. The Dirty Bird.
Don't have to worry about being conservative on your takeoff, right? That was an excellent takeoff by Jeff. But he's going to be beating himself up a little bit about that scratch. It was really close. 148 feet on that takeoff for Jeff Pohl.
All right, here we go in this 172 conversion. He's got that long pipe to get that smoke off his belly. Speaking of exhaust, Jeff Pohl, he did a brand new exhaust system, added about 12 horsepower to his plane, he said. I think he was just saying that to intimidate people. That's his mindset. Here comes this Piper with Jeff Abrams at the controls.
I learned how to fly in a J3 Cub for half of it and a Piper Cherokee for the rest of it, and I got to tell you, that's one of the prettiest Cherokees I've ever seen. They usually look a little more beat up than that from, from pilots like me, student pilots.
they're like the Cessna 172. They're used a lot in training, and they they earn their keep.
Yeah, yeah, I plopped mine in a few times. 9406 kilo.
Grabs those flaps, gets it off the ground, and climbs the heck out of it.
Nice deck angle on that climb out there too.
Now you got to think, we're watching these guys compete in that, but just think when his fishing gear is loaded up and he's out there fishing on a river somewhere.
Yeah, it only adds like 10 feet probably.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got
You're
Jeff.
You're about to see the lovely Anitra Goddard cross the course. She glides across this runway with the greatest of ease. She doesn't walk, she flutters, folks.
Real quick, let's talk about Zimmerer Kubota. So National STOL, we really would like to thank Zimmerer Kubota for providing the tractor that they needed to mow the beautiful course today. So thank you for that, Zimmerer. They've also provided a couple other support vehicles. Zimmerer Kubota is passionately committed to providing their customers with professional quality innovation.
That Kubota's a heck of a lawnmower. All right, Jeff, you scratched your first one. You had a good takeoff. Let's get that dirty bird to be an angry bird for a second. Get it, buddy. There it is. There it is. Nope, he'll keep it down. He'll keep it down.
We heard in the back line, it's like, whoa, 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 whoa.
There it is.
Okay. We're okay. And you know what? Here's the thing. That was slightly more conservative. 166 feet, and he only was a foot maybe beyond 2 feet beyond the line there. So conservative, playing it conservatively for Jeff Pohl is 2 feet deeper past the line.
You know, Jeff grabbed the microphone, the headset, and Brainerd when Jughead had to fly, and I kept getting texts on. He didn't get the opportunity that we had to get to know the other pilots, so he kept saying, "Here comes some dude in some plane, and I think he's gonna do good."
Speaking of doing good, the 172
plops it down safe. All right, we had a couple scratches, but now these guys are saying, "No, let's get to work. We got to beat that Piper." Yeah, and one of the things, Ryan, is that one of the awards that a pilot can win in this event is, or in National STOL, is the most consistent. Now, to get the most consistent, though, you have to have a flawless record. You can have 0 scratches. So Jeff does not get the most consistent, and I'm going to let him know that when he goes by.
Cherokee low and to the left.
Yeah, that is a beautiful approach.
Oh, that's a scratch.
He's on it. He's on it.
You don't even need to go to the tape for that one. Sorry.
Yeah, I think
Was
he
that a little-
scratched
was
up
that
in
a little
Amarillo
mean?
County. But that's okay.
He was already on the board before, though.
Yeah, he can go crazy now.
Except for the most consistent award.
That's right.
Sorry.
And that's, ironically, that's the only award that pays. So you're out of the money. All right, we got the Stinson coming back in. I tell you what, after this light touring, guys, we're going to take a quick lunch break. And I don't know if you guys can smell those food trucks over there, but I didn't get this build by eating salad. I cannot wait to get over there and taste some of that food.
Yeah, so make sure to head over there, support the local vendors.
Oh, keep it up, keep it up. Oh.
Goodness.
Gosh, that makes my heart race every time.
Oh, cheese and crackers.
That makes my heart race every doggone time. All right, give them a wave when they come by, folks. Let them know you appreciate their skills.
More fist pumping, more cheering, more yelling. They can hear you in there. Except for Jeff Pohl, he's all business.
Yeah, Jeff is all
He's
business.
not-
When he
he's not
straps into
smiling,
that
nothing. He's
cockpit.
Just ready to go.
Beautiful plane, beautiful plane.
A lot of sponsors on Clayton's aircraft there. Good for him.
All right.
Okay, so we just heard from the booth. Basically, you have a first. I'll wait for Jeff here. There goes Jeff with another great takeoff. He's currently in first place, followed by Clayton, followed by Crandall in the Stinson, and currently in fourth place is Jeff in the 140. $127 feet for Jeff's last takeoff. That's just, I keep thinking about, like, as you hang out these events a lot, that starts to feel like sometimes those numbers between 100 and 200 feet, especially as we get later into the experimental planes, this feels like long numbers. But, man, those are insane numbers.
Yeah, I think like that's the average length of a driveway here in Texas. Everything's bigger in Texas.
2.3 F-14 Tomcats.
Here we go, here we go. Holds that thing in ground effect. And he's up. You know, I think that's one of 2 low-wing aircraft we have in competition.
Yeah, so a little bit later, the second round of light touring, we'll have a Piper Warrior.
You know, one of the things about these competitions, guys, is we're out here competing with airplanes, but when it comes to National STOL, the one thing they take is safety, safety, safety. We're briefed before we fly. We're briefed after we fly. We're briefed while we're flying. We have an air boss out there, Jerry, just talking in our ear, telling us to speed it up, slow it down, don't be stupid, keep the pattern tight, give separation. It's all about safety, and it shows. All the events we put on all throughout the year, and just a small handful number of accidents. We just had a nose over, but that's about as bad as it gets. So we're really fortunate, and we're glad these pilots keeping it safe, competitive. That's what makes flying fun.
And I think part of that is the way that, and why I like National STOL and of watching it. Here we got Jeff Pohl coming in on the left. Is that all these skills that the pilots are bringing to the table are the same skills you would learn or you did learn in your student pilot training to become a pilot. They're just turned up to 11, right? We're just raising the stakes with the lines, things like that. Here comes Jeff now.
All right, Jeff wants it. Oh, nice
Over the
touchdown,
line,
Jeff.
heavy on the
Keep
brakes.
it on. Keep it on, Jeff.
Love it.
All right, you're looking at the gentleman that's currently sitting in first place.
He is typically one of the ones to beat in light touring.
156 feet. Folks, if you get a chance after these pilots are done flying and you're walking around meeting the pilots, shake Mr. Pohl's hand. He's just a great guy, fun to talk to. And I'll tell you what, if he doesn't crack a joke within the first 5 minutes of meeting you, he is one of the good guys.
Okay, we got the 172. A little bit of a different approach here. Low and to the left. So pretty.
He's been flying that thing just low as heck, but he's keeping it up. He'll drop it now.
Nice.
Right on the runway. Like you're kissing your sister. Nice and light.
I have no reaction to that.
Well, if you're kissing your sister heavy, Ryan, I don't want to see it.
Good news for me, I don't have any sisters, so.
All right, look at the
joke a little bit
profile of this
further.
Piper coming in. It looks like we're landing a jet. Those Pipers look fast even when they're sitting still. Jeff's one of the best in the business.
Say again.
Watch the suspension on those mains
A
work.
little bit of a
Boop,
float.
boop.
A little bit of a float there. He's not going to be too happy about the little float. It looked kind of perfect up to that point.
Yeah, 341 feet on that one for the Piper. It's just amazing that he's getting that thing. That is a qualified pilot. Here we go with the Stinson coming in here. Expertly flown by Crandall. Giving
See
us a
now,
little-
I want to go check the weather again in a second because it does feel like we're starting to get a little more crosswind component as I look at the flags. I don't know if that's true or not.
Oh.
Yeah, no need to go heavy on the. He knows it too. He's not even hitting the brakes. He knows he's scratched. He knows what he did. So we'll get you an updated standings in just a minute from the folks in the booth. So actually heard we're going to take our live broadcast to commercial. So and then we'll give you the standings updated afterwards. So again, thank you again, everybody. That's the first chunk of light touring here at Lonestar STOL with the Husky National STOL Competition, Gainesville, Texas. Looking forward to amping it up some more with more light touring after this.
You ain't seen nothing yet.
Yeah, I got that right turn. We're good.
Let's meet up at the compound group up.
At 10-4.
Yeah, for sure, dog.
Good little driver, straight on through.
Nothing yet.
Okay, everyone, we are back for more light touring action here at the Husky National STOL Competition, Gainesville, Texas. I'm Ryan Dombrowski, one of your hosts today. So excited to be here. I'm from Wisconsin, so it's already getting wintry up there, so it's nice for me to be down here with all of you in the nice, comforting warmth, the big sky. And last night I looked up, and the stars were actually big and bright. That's a little Texas joke that I thought of. I worked real hard on that one. Okay, let's talk to you about the current standings coming in for light touring right now. Jeff Pohl, first place, 283. Clayton Stanzel, 386. Crandall Eldridge with 523 feet combined. And Jeff Abrams in the Cherokee 140 bringing in 4th place with 677. Now we're headed over to Kenneth Monger in a 172. So again, the same type aircraft as Clayton has, except this one is the more original configuration with the nose wheel up front. Kenny Monger's from Arkansas, and we'll see what he can do today. Off fast. Whoa, I've not seen a 172 do that. That actually got some grimaces from the crowd. 162 feet for Kenny. Now here comes Luke Berger, 1979 Piper Warrior 2. He's from Mount Sterling. I think it's Mount Sterling, Ohio. So we'll have a little battle of the Cherokees here. We'll see what he can do against Jeff. This one's looking pretty glossy too. I don't know why I made my voice go that high, but I'll just roll with it.
He's up, he's up.
He's up.
All right, guys, here we got Parker Sloan. He's a 19-year-old kid. Now, this young man, talk about flying. He has flown and landed in about every airport in Oklahoma and Arkansas. 19 years old, 800 hours, flying the pants off of that airplane.
Speaking of flying the pants off, there he goes. Oh, almost had a little bit of sink back.
He's sponsored by AIS Aircraft Ignition. They're out of Honey Grove, Texas. He got his license when he was 18 years old, and like I said, before the age of 20, he landed in every public airport in Oklahoma and Arkansas.
Now here's a super cool plane, this 8471 Mike. Notice the checkerboard on the tail. That's a little bit of a hint. It's kind of a rarer Cessna 150, 152 type. That's an Aerobat.
Now he's owned that airplane for 18 years and decided the other day he was going to fly in this. He pulled the wingtips out of his attic, put them on, cleaned them up, showed up to fly. And that is our first ever 150 Aerobat in competition. Let's see how he does with that plane today. Just an impressive deal. He works in aviation avionics, what did he say? Gosh, the kid looks like he's about 19 years old, but he's been an avionics technician for 17 years, 18 years. And I just love to hear a good story of last week I decided to compete, so I dusted off my wingtips, put them on, and showed up.
So the Aerobat, as you can tell by the name, that thing can go upside down.
Yeah.
You can do like aerobatics in that. Here we go.
It's shorten his pattern if he just went up and did a loop and come back. Let's see. What do we got here? Don't scratch. Hold it up.
Gotta get on the power.
There it is.
He held it off.
Nice.
Really nice. That's a strong first showing.
Yeah, it is.
Again, the reason I get so excited about light touring is because all of these aircraft are aircraft that any of you could fly, you could train in. Some of them slightly modified or, messed with a little bit, right? We've got the VGs on the front of this Cessna right here in front of us that helps the airflow over the wings. But in general, they are just what you could fly at your local flight school. Probably not a lot of G1000 172s in National STOL, though. Let's be real.
I would guess not. All right, here we got our only other low-wing airplane in competition.
This is Luke. Luke, is it Berger or Berger?
Well, when it's this close to lunch, everything I see looks like a burger. Hold it up, buddy. Hold it up, buddy.
That's a scratch, but that's all right. That's just the first one. Again, believe this is his first competition, National STOL Competition, so he's also got a bigger learning curve too, right? He's got to learn how the competition works. He's got a new sight picture of the way the cones and the flags and everything. And I just want to no matter what happens there, and there could be some surprises, but no matter what happens there, like, power on to you if you're just like doing something out of your comfort zone, something brand new. That's really, really awesome.
Well, the thing about these competitions is they are intimidating, but they make you a much better pilot, and you get to learn from the best of the best. It's always intimidating to join to enter your first event, but after you do it, I tell you what, I am just hooked on this STOL.
Here we go, about mid-height to your left. The young gentleman.
All right, man, here's Parker Sloan with his first landing of the day. Get that thing stopped, Parker. All right, let's
There we go.
remind
Get on those
Parker.
brakes.
Let's remind Parker when he goes by that the object is to get stopped quickly. Let's lock up those brakes, Parker. Slide her in, buddy.
Are you his new coach?
Yeah, well, I'm the worst backseat driver you'll ever meet, Ryan.
So here's the thing. What we got to do is we gotta just send him the bill, and then you can be on tour with him. Here comes the Aerobat.
Come on, buddy. Hold that thing
Oh.
up. There it is. He's all right.
He saved it. Heavy on the brakes.
Drop those flaps. See those flaps come up so we get more braking. Woo!
And I don't know, does the Aerobat have a Johnson bar flap system, or is it electric flaps? Because that will definitely impact what he's doing.
That's right. And, you know, watching how slow those came up, it looked like electric. But that's a question to ask him when he's done. Trevor just flies the pants off that airplane, and he's just a great guy to talk to. Again, in the middle of this competition, I highly recommend you, or after these guys are done flying, go up, shake their hands, and learn about their airplanes. One thing pilots love to do is show off their aircraft.
Man, speaking of showing off aircraft, thumbs up from Luke here. Such a pretty example of the Cherokee. And I think when we were at Swamp STOL, we had Jeff flying with us in his Cherokee at Swamp STOL. And the big thing is, like, this competition is performance to the max for these airplanes. You don't think of something like a Cherokee as being a STOL aircraft or going into those big backcountry strips, but it can be done. You just gotta read the book.
Here we go. These guys are having the time of their life. Slam that tail. Get that thing up, Ken.
Ken's not messing around.
No.
He's coming for Jeff.
Well, no, man. When you're flying against competition like the Dirty Bird, you can't mess around. Here we go. Let's see this Piper wind up and get out of here.
Last takeoff was a little long. See what he can do to improve on it now.
There goes those flaps.
Yeah, the Cherokee that I trained in had a Johnson bar flap system. I really liked it.
Really?
Yeah, I dug it. I'm still not used to electric flaps in the 172.
Ryan, where did you learn to fly, my friend?
I learned to fly in Hartford, Wisconsin.
Okay.
It's a great stopover if you're up to Oshkosh next year.
Home of the best cheese curds in the country. All right, Parker, let's pull those flaps and get that thing off the ground. There it is.
There we go.
There it is.
And the other part that I really like is that delicate nursing of lowering the nose, but not too much, keeping it flying as you get speed. Always so fun to watch.
All right, so Trevor just saw Parker, and he's going to say, I see what you got. Now let's see what I got. He's already got his flaps down, so that's interesting.
That may be that electric flap situation.
I think you're right.
We'll watch him here.
And
we'll see what happens.
He's off.
He's off short. He's got the weight advantage on these 172s for sure. Yeah, there they go. They're just, oh, he's got some sink from dropping the flaps out, or pulling the flaps out. And already to our left, here comes Kenneth.
Mr. Monger, he is all fun to watch. He's entering this landing as he's on approach. Let's not get in his head by letting him know that he's in second place currently.
Oh, yeah, only 40 feet behind Jeff. So
but I thought he was going to touch down back there. He kept it up. Come on, Ken. Come on, Ken.
He's got it.
Yes,
nice.
He is slow. Look at that
heavy
plane.
On the brakes.
Wow. That's the stuff right there, fellas.
The question is, did he make up 40 feet? So that was a 146-foot landing.
Wow, that was
They're
very
crunching the
nicely
numbers
done.
right now. Sorry, I totally interrupted you, my friend, but they're crunching the numbers right now. We'll see if he bops. Jeff, who's just behind us right here. He's just standing there. Does
Well,
he know that he's
a
in
VIP
jeopardy
over
right
in
now?
the tent. He likes to come over and steal my water. Oh, let's not let Mr. Pole know that Kenneth Monger's only 16 feet behind him. Last thing I want to do is get in Jeff's head today. All right, we're going to get this Piper down. He's not going to scratch.
Nice.
Perfect
There
landing.
we go. Heavy on the brakes
brakes
this time. That's what your coach Colin said.
That's right. That's right. Coach Colin, I like the
It's
sound
got
of
a good
that.
ring to it, man.
Those that can't do, teach.
All right, looks like we've got a little bit of time. So let's talk about another one of our great supporters. Let's talk about Gainesville Municipal Airport. We just want to say thanks so much to Gainesville. They're like, thanks for flubbing the name while you read it. Of course, a special thanks to Gainesville Municipal Airport for hosting us today. Gainesville Municipal Airport serves the needs of North Texas, as you can tell. And whether you're looking for a quick turn-on fuel or a place to spend the night or an area to locate your business, Gainesville Municipal Airport will meet your needs. Here we go.
Now, is Parker going to listen to me and slam on these brakes this time? He didn't scratch. He's on his brakes. Lift them flaps. Got her stopped. Nice job. Nice, safe run. Again, guys, the key to this whole thing is being safe.
Okay, here comes the Aerobat.
All right, Trevor, keep it up.
He kept it.
He's got a nice run. He's going to get on those brakes, releases those flaps, and he's got her stopped. That
was nice and short. So, Colin, tell me a little bit, as you compete in this too, we're going to see you compete a little bit later. Wondering about your thoughts on, for instance, we're seeing this in light touring right now. We have 3 aircraft in this segment that are of similar-ish weights. And then we have the 152 Aerobat, just a lot less airplane. Is that an advantage for them, or is that, how does that affect the competition?
well, the lighter the aircraft, the faster you're going to get off the runway. But the one thing, a little bit of weight on your plane gets you down on the ground quicker and lets those brakes get to work. Especially in these nose wheel airplanes. When you hit that ground, you'll see a lot of them are just on those brakes and diving that nose in, because you don't have to worry about nosing over as much as you do in a tail wheel. Well, in fact, you don't have to worry about it pretty much. There's Parker. I'll bet his brakes are heated up because he listened to me. Come on, Warren. I'm sorry. There's Kenneth. Come on, buddy.
150 Aerobat. I think I said 152 before. It's a 150 Aerobat. Obviously built.
I mean, these guys are out here having the time of their lives. You know, you get so excited to get out here, and then it feels like it's over in about 30 seconds for them.
I don't have an age on that 150 Aerobat, but I was going to say, obviously built, you know, when orange was a thing. It's coming back.
Again, folks, ladies and gentlemen, after this heat, we're going to jump into a lunch break. I'll tell you what, we're lucky to have some good food trucks over there, and you can probably smell it. Smells delicious. Get in line soon, get in line early, and get in line often, and support these men and women who brought their food out food trucks and are cooking up these delicious morsels for us. Come on, Parker, get that thing in the air. Wow, that was impressive. Did you see that takeoff?
I'm watching it right now on the replay. Bravo 7, Parker Sloan in the 172 Foxtrot. Yeah, look at that. Look at him go. Here comes the Aerobat. I'm just going to keep saying Aerobat over and over again because I like it.
It's one of those words that rolls off your tongue.
Just in just the right way.
Gets on that throttle. Gets
So,
on that throttle.
On the last takeoff, whoa, lots of tail dragging. Love that. Now watch how he has to kind of nurse the electric flaps off. If you do that too quickly,
There's his sink.
there's the sink.
He's staying in that ground effect. Now he's starting to climb out. There you go. Get that thing in the air.
So as the flaps are retracted, the aircraft loses some lift, and depending on the timing and the winds, I've definitely had that happen where I've been flying my Cessna, hit the flaps up maybe too aggressively, and they do a couple notches at once, and I've settled back down onto the runway. No different here today for the competitors.
All right, so we have Ken back in here. Is this his third? This is his third one, right?
Could be for all the beans.
All right, so this is Ken's third round. It just came in from the eye in the sky. And the one thing I haven't noticed on here is, since that he got a cat on the tail, I don't see a cat painted. It must have faded off. Holds it up.
He held it. Heavy on the brakes. Remember, he's only 16 feet away from Jeff.
Look at that airplane.
That was short. Well, Jeff's not behind us anymore. I looked behind me to see what his reaction was.
Yeah, so I just got word that Jeff's actually in the replay booth, and apparently he's in there biting his fingers because he's nervous about Ken. But I know why he's in there. Jeff doesn't bite his fingers. He's an ear picker when he's nervous. It's better than his nose.
True.
All right, here comes this other Piper, low-winged airplane coming in. Has that angle of attack. Last night when I was watching these guys practice, I just couldn't believe the way they were flying these touring airplane.
There we go. He's got it on the line. Heavy on the brakes. A little bit of fade to the left, maybe. And I got to say, that was a pretty good, stable approach. Just the whole thing looked very consistent.
Yeah, man. I'll tell you what. We've been very fortunate to see such great piloting skills demonstrated. I look over my shoulder and I see my friend Brian Steck over there studying the playbook. He's a master of his craft as he looks and sees how he can constantly get better. We got Parker Sloan here, buddy. Now drift this thing in, plop that thing down, and crank on your brakes. They make more brake pads.
Definitely safe.
Yeah, you could tell these guys with those electric flaps because they just come up slow.
Yeah, and what you want is, in that one, correct me if I'm wrong, that was 250 feet, by the way. Correct me if I'm wrong, like the goal is to pop them up as quickly as possible to get more force down into the wheels because it's not providing lift. Is that, am I accurate, Coach?
Yeah, so my method is I run Acme gear on my plane with Acme shocks. I get about 5 feet over that runway. As soon as I know I'm safe, I drop those flaps and just plop in and let the equipment do the work.
Whoa!
Keep that puppy up.
He did it, but he's got a lot of float for it.
Look at those brakes just locking up. He's kicking up the dirt. That's Texas style flying. When you're kicking up dust,
Looks like less than 250.
we'll leave here and look like we've been at the rodeo.
Okay, so we'll get some standings in a second.
Once we get these standings, again, folks, go over and check out the food trucks. Get yourself a cold beverage. Unofficial standings, Jeff Pohl, 183. Kenny Monger, 299. Trevor Smith in that Aerobat's at 365.
Third place, not bad for someone who decided to compete 2 days ago.
Wow, he puts that thing together and comes down here and gets himself into third place right away. Boy, that Piper is just a sharp-looking airplane. Give these guys a hand, everybody. You know, we got a great crowd for a Friday afternoon. Just having a good time watching some airplanes. And we're gonna jump to commercial. So for you in the crowd, that means nothing, but for those watching online, get ready to see some great commercials by our sponsors. Again, my name is Colin Kneva, hanging out with my friend Ryan Dembrowski.
Dembrowski, yeah, that's right. So, okay, we're gonna take a break, head out back in a little bit to, what's next? Bush class is next. That's Austin Clemens. And also, I hear to my ear, we've got a Stearman. It's going to be flying around for us in about 2 minutes, which is going to be great to watch. Again, thanks so much, everybody, for watching. We'll keep the action going in just a little bit. I'm Ryan.
Here we go.
When it's time to recover and paint your fabric-covered aircraft, look no further than AirTech Coatings. Since 1982, our FAA-approved system provides you with a shiny, durable, easy-to-apply product. The AirTech system has fewer steps than any other product on the market today, saving you both time and money. While using cutting-edge technology, we offer a wide range of products. Whether it's for work, play, antique, or aerobatic, we have you covered. Remember, we make paint fly.
And we're back, and we're getting ready to go now for alternate bush class. And in the alternate bush, you've got Brian Steck, John Wisdom, Keith Geiger, and Colin Kaniva, my intrepid co-host. You're going to see, this is where you're going to see the legend Cubs, the mother of all Cubs, like the one on the line right now with Brian Steck. Here comes John Wisdom and another mother of all Cubs. This one, of course, goes faster because there are guns on it. And everyone knows that if there are guns on a plane, it makes it go faster. Behind him, you'll see Keith Geiger. That plane. Here we go, John. Short takeoff for sure for John. I got so excited about seeing Keith's plane. That is a Badlands Traveler. It's not actually, it looks 98 feet, by the way, for John Wisdom there. That Badlands Traveler is kind of a little bit of a Frankenstein. It's a Cub body and Cessna wings that get kind of molded together. They're kind of rare. Very, very interesting airplane. And then here comes my co-host Colin in his Carbon Cub. Make sure to check out his show on Carbon TV, Old Green Plane. 143 feet for the Badlands Traveler, piloted by Keith Geiger. And then just a quick heads up, Curtis Thomas is going to be back in action with us. Whoa, Colin, doing good work there. I didn't know if he was only good at talking or maybe he's good at flying too. 96 feet. 96 feet for Colin, not messing around. And here's Curtis Thomas. Again, Curtis, bush class, had a mechanical issue with his fuel. Has that all sorted out. Everyone's satisfied with the checks on that, so he's going to go and do his runs during the alternate bush. So we'll keep you up to date, but he's technically not competing with these people. Very competitive showing. So, since we're talking about bush planes, maybe we should talk about another one of our sponsors, Legend Aircraft, who build those beautiful mother of all Cubs. American Legend Aircraft is building the most innovative and advanced Cubs today. If there's any notion in your mind that flying these airplanes is a sensation, both beautiful and profound, you owe it to yourself to try one on. There's only one true original. Realize your dreams, American Legend Aircraft. I also want to talk about McFarland Aviation. McFarland Aviation is committed to safety, quality, and value. They specialize in affordable and high-quality FAA and PMA parts, components. That's stuff like doors and flight control, door and flight control cables, push-pull controls, cargo and seat rails. Lots of unique products for the broader aerospace community. No matter what you purchase from McFarland, you can rest assured that you are getting the highest quality product at the lowest price. Now, here we go. Short final. Brian Steck. Again, remember, I got a little excited there. Remember, it's not about passenger comfort. It's about getting it on short. Dropping it in there. We'll get a score in a second. 138 feet on that landing. Lower and to your left, check out John Wisdom. Maybe he's going to drop some wisdom on these kids. Mother of all Cubs, of course, homage to the Piper Super Cub. Look at that angle of attack. Tail down before the line, but that's okay. We're measuring from the mains. I think he was happy with that one. 134 feet for John Wisdom on that one. Next up, Keith Geiger in that Badlands Traveler. Some Badlands Travelers, I believe, have 172 wings. If I remember correctly from a conversation I was having with someone, this one actually is a 152 wing. Beautiful landing for Keith there, but was it short enough? A little bit longer, it looks like. 246. Now here comes Colin. His takeoff was impressive. Let's see if he can follow it up on the landing. You can hear the stall warning beep in the cockpit even over here. Sub 200 it looks like. $180 feet. Yeah, he's happy with that one. And again from Bush class on your left. Curtis Thomas in the Super Cub. A little long beyond the line. Got some bouncing action, but he'll get it stopped. Okay, everyone, make sure to give them a wave, give them a cheer. They can hear you, especially if those doors are open. That's right, thumbs up, Buttercups. So I told you at the offset that the guns on the plane make it perform better, and sure enough, 232 feet for John Wisdom, currently in first place. Oh, Brian Steck right behind him, 238 feet. Colin Kaniva, 276. So he's got a little bit of work to do. It's a good thing that that I got that number in my ear after he taxied, or I could have sent him mouthed the number to him or something. Brian Steck, Moac. That's a short one. It looks like sub 100. That was 89 feet for Brian Steck. Here comes John Wisdom. John Wisdom with 100 feet there, so we'll see what happens with Brian. And Brian, is he gonna unseat John right now? Obviously the landing is where the money's made. There goes Keith in the Badlands Traveler. $125 feet for Keith. Here. And I was right on the 152 wing on that one. I just found out. Now look what Colin's doing here. He's offset the center line, trying to get more of that headwind on the nose. And it paid off. 85 feet for Colin. He's coming for you, John. And here's Curtis Thomas, Bush class, getting his landings in. I'm gonna guess, what do you guys think? Was it less than 200 or more than 200? I can't see from here. Give me a thumbs down if it was less than 200. Or a thumbs up, I don't know. Thumbs up, it's better if it's, never mind. It was 162 feet. So, it was less than 200. I don't know. I'm trying. Trying to get some audience engagement here. You guys all had delicious lunch, and now you need a nap. But you're not going to be able to nap because this is too exciting. So get up, do some jumping jacks, get pumped up. Got some short landings happening right now. Just saying. Okay, check out to your left, Brian Steck coming in the MOAC. The MOAC, again, a legend aircraft. Those things can fly pretty darn slow, like frighteningly so. And they even have capabilities to, some of them can be configured. They have like a cargo area in the back. You can actually have a litter patient in there or a third jump seat. A lot of flexibility in that. Oh! Oh! Woo! See what I meant? Did you do your jumping jacks? That was awesome. He's pumped up about it. 107 feet for Brian Steck in the MOAC. Here comes John Wisdom. Now he does have that unfair advantage of the gun cases on the wings. That makes a huge difference somehow. John Wisdom gonna drop a train on him with the pew pew wings. Here we go. Short final. Oh, he's losing. The wind died a little bit. You saw him sink down a little bit, applying some power. Yes. Again, on a tail dragger airplane, it's okay to drag that tail wheel in. That's what, yeah, he's pumped. 89 feet. John Wisdom with the STOL knowledge. Get it? Knowledge, wisdom? Yeah, that's just a little joke I made. Here comes that Badlands Traveler. Another good showing right in that sweet spot. Got to get heavier on the brakes. And he's got to clear the runway quick, because look, off to the left. Here comes my buddy Colin, my new best friend. We're going to be pen pals after this. Love that plane. Whoa, it was close. What do you think? Was that a scratch or not? No, I got a lot of no's. They've got it on playback. And it was a scratch. But that couldn't have been closer. Didn't look like a scratch. You think, wait, you switched, you changed your mind? Oh, you wanted a scratch. Okay, here we go. Oh, little burst of power. Curtis got it over the line. Sorry, I confused what you were saying no about. Yeah, I got you. 207 for Curtis on that last one. Here they come, folks. Get pumped up. John especially really happy with that. Wave hello. Thumbs up or I mean, I don't, you want to be mean, you could thumbs down them too. Okay, so 189 feet unofficial results for John Wisdom. And just behind him by 7 feet, Brian Steck. So the MOACs making a strong showing in this class. You know, I heard from the Legend Aircraft guys that they have a set of gold shoes that they're all competing for. So whoever wins today is going to be wearing a pair of golden sneakers tomorrow. And they each have a pair. They all bought them. Here goes Brian. Whoa, there we go. That's up 100 feet for sure. Competing for the golden shoes. Mythical. Holy moly, folks, would you believe me if I told you that was 78 feet on that last takeoff? That's 1.5 F-14 Tomcats. John Wisdom. Oh, a little shorter. "86 feet. So not there. It's gonna get interesting as they come around the pattern. Here's the Badlands Traveler with Keith Geiger at the controls. I'd imagine the Badlands Traveler with that Cessna wing has a good speed rate. Whoa, there we go. There we go. Colin Kneva, hashtag Old Green Plains. 94 feet for Keith in the Badlands Traveler. He's getting better and better every round. Here comes Colin in the Carbon Cub. All right, here comes Curtis. Now check it out. He's cheating a little bit to the left. I think he's gonna try to get some of that crosswind component on the nose to help him out a little bit. Currently in 5th place in the Bush class, unofficial results. So he's in the pack, but he needs to set himself apart. There we go, he's off the ground. No sink. Really, really great job there by Curtis. He's one of the Fat Tire Cowboys. You saw some of them competing. Oh, I just got told 132 feet for Curtis on that takeoff. Okay, he's one of the Fat Tire Cowboys. I was about to say that you saw some of the other Fat Tire Cowboys in the heavy touring class. The Fat Tire Cowboys, one of our sponsors, they're an aviation adventure brand, and they're steeped in cowboy lore. Each member has a deep connection to aviation, a deep connection to Texas and its farming and ranching operations. The Fat Tire Cowboys focused on spreading the passion for aviation, the love of God, and a life lived well. And I would say those guys are living life well right now with how well they've been flying. Here comes the helicopter. Brian Steck. Oh, look at that angle of attack. Oh, he was gambling hard on it, and it came up short. Still having fun, though, it looks like. So with that scratch from Brian, he's going to be all but ensuring that John Wisdom secures victory in the qualifying heat today. Oh, it was a close one. Maybe those guns weighed him down this time. I don't know. So a reminder, today, qualifying, what this does today is it helps us figure out who gets placed where in the heats tomorrow for the finals, Lonestar STOL. And in case you're wondering, that was a scratch for John Wisdom, so the stands between those two stay the same. Badlands Traveler with, again, just improving each and every landing there with Keith Geiger. Everyone's going to be pretty happy about the increased wind. That was 169 feet for Keith. And my friend Colin hovering it in, getting really slow. A little bit higher, gonna drop it in. hardcore landing action. And folks, this is probably what many of you might be excited for. I was nerding about heavy touring. A lot of you are going to be nerding out about this, our light sport, light experimental class. Man, do we have some performers in this class. First up, we've got in the line there, Brent Womack in a Rands S20 Raven. Love the Rands line of aircraft. Don't see too many of them competing yet in STOL, but they're definitely a STOL brand. Followed in line by Chris Miller in a Carbon Cub SS. Cody Morris behind him in a older Rands design, a 1990 Rands S6. It is sick. Steve Henry. Everyone's pumped to see Steve Henry in the Wild West aircraft, Wild West Highlander. Make sure you get ready to plug your ears when that one comes online. Levi Nogas in a Storch. And we'll finish the round out now in a minute. And here comes Brent in that S20. He's from Sandy Shores, Texas. And then if I'm not mistaken, there is one other competitor in the class.
Looks like we got a J3 Cub back there. How cool is that?
Yeah, it's Michael Burks in a Legend Cub AL3, which is their version of the J3. Well spotted. How was your run?
Well, that was fun. That was fun. Like I say, if you don't think we're working, feel my T-shirt. I'm drenched.
Should I actually touch it? Okay, Cody Morris in the Rands S6. There we go. That was short. You're going to see 89 feet for the Rands S6. That's
wow.
A 1990 home built. Get ready to plug your ears. Here comes Steve Henry. Now, basically the totally opposite approach to short takeoff and landing than the S6 that you just saw. 300 horsepower.
That's a Yamaha Apex snowmobile engine, turbocharged. That plane has it, man.
Okay. Yep, that was short.
I'm guessing 29 feet. 28 feet on that one. Wow, nice job, Steve.
And by the way, I want to clarify, you guessed 29 feet, but we were just told that officially it was 28 feet.
28,
You were
right.
that close in your guess again.
Well,
you're getting good at that.
Yeah. So I'll tell you what, I've gotten to know Steve and his family, his wife Kathy, his daughter Sarah. That's a family-run business, Wild West Aircraft. Check them out. They've got T-shirts, hats, stickers, you name it. Go get some swag. All right, Levi, let's see this bird get off the ground.
So Levi's flying a Storch. There we go.
Look at that thing stretch its legs out.
Yeah, I wonder if that's a disadvantage for him. It was clearly flying before the wheels were off the ground.
Yeah, that thing just looks like it's waking up for the morning. 157 feet he got. All right, here we got a beautiful Cub.
He was a late edition.
And this is a late edition, so I don't even know who's flying 64 Tango Papa.
Oh, that was mean.
No, that's not mean. It's a beautiful plane.
Michael Burks from Hazlet, Texas. But his
Michael-
friends call him Kale. And that was a very impressive takeoff for a modern J3.
Man, he hung that thing on the ground, didn't he? Let's talk about staying in ground effect. Okay, so here we go. We're coming down here with Brent Womack.
In the S20 Raven, that's a newer design by Rands. So it's kind of interesting to see the S20 that Brent is flying is kind of a permutation or an evolution of the S6 that Cody is flying a few aircraft back. Real quick, while we're talking here, let's talk about Boomerang Air. Boomerang Air is a full-service aviation brokerage company that can help with your buying or selling needs. We're also privileged to be, Boomerang Air is privileged to be a certified Cub Crafter sales center for Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Louisiana. And as my friends at Boomerang Air say, ba-bam! Is that how they say that? I don't know. They just say bam. They just say bam, not ba-bam, bam.
But they drop it hard. They go bam.
They drop it hard.
All right,
bam.
speaking of dropping it hard, let's hold that thing off. Hold that thing. Oh, doggone it.
Looks like our Blackhawk friends getting ready to go after a stop at the food truck.
I'll bet you that H60 gets pretty thirsty when it's flying across country. All right, we have a Carbon Cub SS coming in here.
Chris Miller.
Chris Miller, I got a chance to meet him last night. Great guy.
We might be 2 for 2 on scratches right now.
Chris is a farmer from Texas. And the previous competitor, Brent, it says here he's from Shady Shores, Texas. Now, I just flew across Texas. I didn't see an ounce of shade, so he's lying. Just came across. It was, in fact, a scratch. All right, let's watch this Zenith.
This is the Rans S6. It
Oh,
looks a lot like a Zenith, though.
Yeah, it does look a lot like a Zenith.
There we go.
Nice,
He's
nice
first place
work.
right now.
Now, he stopped his prop. Is that part of his
prop.
braking?
I don't know.
Huh? Pushes on the brakes and stops the prop. When he does that in the air, the fan keeps him cool, but he stops that prop. It heats him up real damn quick. Oh, really? Doug's sitting over here telling me he stopped that to reverse the motor. And so I'm the one that's going to get my butt chewed by someone online because the internet's always right and I'm always wrong. And they're going to say, he didn't try to stop no motor, you knucklehead. But I don't mind it. All right, my friend Steve, got a chance to hang out with him before an event. He stopped by my house, spent a week, and I'll tell you, you'll never meet a more competitive, nice but competitive buddy. I tell you what, that smile on his face will light up a room, but when he's at the joystick of that airplane, he's not smiling. That boy is working right now. Come on, Steve. Chop that power and
Right
drop
on
it.
the line.
Look at that.
Wheels locked up. That's sub 75.
Now, I don't think I could even at a dead sprint, I don't think I could get myself stopped as fast as he got that airplane stopped. He is a pleasure to watch.
Okay, so we just heard that Steve's run was clean. It was right on the edge. It was clean.
Right on the line.
64 feet. So that's sub 100 if I remember the takeoff distance. So Steve bringing it as always. If you look up online for Steve, like YouTube, I think he's got like a 6-foot takeoff. Something insane. Where
Yeah,
like,
it's 7'6", I think.
Yeah, like just really blowing that day. Add his skill and technical prowess, and bam, you're in the air. Here comes Levi Nogues.
Come on, Levi. Come on, Levi.
It's a clean one. It's a clean one. That's a cool looking plane. Last time I saw Levi fly, he was flying a Kit Fox, like a old like Model 4, maybe Model 3 Kit Fox.
Don't say it. Don't say it. Don't say it. Dang it. I got to say it. A Model A?
110 feet for Levi on that. I got to hang out with him at Sun and Fun. Such a great, great dude. Here's the Legend AL3. Oh, with a scratch. Make sure to get pumped. Get them pumped up for you. They got 2 more runs to go. That's right, Wave. They can hear you. They got the doors open. Well, some of them do. One of them does. I don't know. A few of them do.
One of my favorite things about flying in this sport is engaging with the people that took time out of their day to come out and watch, come out and see these planes fly, come out and see these pilots work. We could not, absolutely 100% could not do this without quality crowds.
Just heard that second and third place are just 5 feet apart. And second and third place are Cody in the S6 and Levi in the Storch just behind him. And I think it's probably safe to assume first place is
now let me ask you this.
Henry.
What, did you expect that at all?
I totally expected that. 92 feet for Steve, so my sales guy math was accurate, and he was sub 100 feet there. And just found out that we're going to hold here for a minute for the helicopter because they're going to turn around and do a low pass for us. Thank you. Get a little bit of freedom wind blown in our faces from that big rotor disc.
We didn't do a national anthem on this because we didn't have anybody to sing, and I've got a scratchy throat. So if you would stand up as these guys fly by, this is who's protecting our country, our young men and women of the armed services. Stand up and give them a big wave as they do a low pass.
There we go, low and to the left, the mighty Blackhawk coming in hot. Even a little wing wag for us, or a rotor wag? I don't know, what do you call it when it's a helicopter?
Well, I'd have to say a rotor rag, but what a
Rotor
beautiful
wag.
sight.
Okay, the S20 is off. Now you're seeing people are starting to get hip to Steve's tactics. He was the first person who told me about the lining up on one side, turning into that little bit of crosswind. We saw my co-host do it. Here goes Chris Miller in the Carbon Cup doing the same thing for his takeoff. Want to remind everybody, don't forget that there's practice later tonight, so you can hang out and watch them practice for tomorrow's finals. Also, you should buy a National STOL shirt. That's a thing you should do.
Yeah, especially now that it's getting a little cooler at night. Get a hooded sweatshirt, get a long sleeve t-shirt, whatever they got.
That S6 is not messing around. He's not putting up Steve Henry numbers, but that was 93 feet. Everyone's got their phones out for this one.
He's about to wind up 330 horsepower of pure adrenaline. He said it's the most fun you can have with your clothes on.
Did he say that? Okay, so question about Levi. I was talking about John's guns on his wings. That provided an unfair advantage. What does a bomb what does a bomb do? I'm assuming a cargo bomb thing under there, but what is that at?
Well, I think that's a fuel tank.
Oh, it's probably
so it
a
adds
fuel
another
tank.
35 miles to his day of flying.
$93 feet for Levi.
Wow.
And here comes Kale. Kale chips.
Come on, Kale,
Couldn't
get that
resist.
thing off the ground. Now, he doesn't have any flaps.
There we go.
He's flying just straight wing on that one. Now, folks, after this competition, the cool stuff is about to happen because everybody's going to come out and practice. And now's when the crap talking starts. When you start practicing and start rubbing each other, jabbing each other, I should say. Hopefully no one's out there rubbing each other.
This is a family show.
This is a family show, and I apologize.
High and
But
to the
rubbing
left,
is racing.
Rans S20.
Oh, listen to that, just floating that in. Have you ever seen airplanes so graceful as the pilots flying these things today? I don't think you're right.
110 feet on that last one.
Here we go, Chris.
Oh, I think that was a scratch.
Chris told me he's a farmer by day and a pilot by night, but he's hoping sometime soon to reverse that and just fly all the time. And the way he's handling that Carbon Cub, I could see why.
That's a confirmed scratch for him on that one, though. So, I don't know, insert day job longer joke here. Here comes the Rans S6. Right on the line.
Oh, look at him. Slams on those brakes, stops his motor, starts it back. I like that feature. That's kind of like the new hybrid vehicles. You stop at a stoplight and they turn off. It screws me up every time.
Got the AGM battery in there to just pop it on and off, right? That's a thing. Then I know.
That's pretty impressive. All right, here we go. Steve, they say he flies like he's on rails, because I'll tell you what, this man is just automatic as they come. Now he's got that, if you look on the wings, he's got some plastic that goes parallel with his wingtips. Nice stop. Now those plastic slats on his struts going down, that
he was
helps
happy with that one. He does that when he's happy. Sorry, I interrupted
55 feet. What that plastic piece does in his that's connected to his wings, to his strut, is that helps him when he's in a slip, when he's doing STOL drag. He puts that puppy in a slip and it acts as kind of like an air brake.
All right, everyone, go do your jumping jacks. Get pumped up. Get those pilots pumped up.
All right, here comes long leg Luann. I don't know if that's what he calls it, but if it was my plane, that's what I would call it.
Long.
Someone just
Is
said
it
he
for
nicknamed
sale? Someone said
that
it-
plane for sale. That's what my that's what the nickname I have for my boat.
It's just a really unique airframe.
Look at him just hanging that thing down. Come on, Levi. Drop that thing in and show us what's up. Wow, look at that suspension working. Wow.
So 123 feet for Levi on that. Again, the real battle today is for second and third place.
Absolutely.
Because you kind of have to count on Steve scratching, and that's pretty rare. Look at this beautiful. There's nothing more beautiful than a Piper Cub.
Absolutely. That is flying raw aviation right there. Nice work. A quick reminder, if you stop by the announcer's booth, you get a free poster. I'm selfishly telling you that because, well, they're a poster of my airplane, so enjoy that.
And I did not bring posters or stickers or anything, so too bad, so sad.
Tonight I'm going to get some pinup shots of my partner Ryan, and we'll get him on a poster for you guys for some nose art.
If you do want, though, to support National STOL, don't forget to check out the T-shirts, hats, the merchandise, things like that. If you're watching at home, you can do that at nationalstol.com. I think we got a merch tent somewhere around here. I don't know. I've only been in this one place. this whole time. Let's talk about scores. Steve Henry,
There you are, bud.
92 feet. And he had a very consistent score, 92 feet both runs. So
Cheer
that's-
loud. Look at these pilots. Hard worker pilots. Good job, fellas.
It's nothing to sneeze at there. Second place, Levi has gone up into second place with 216 feet. And Cody Morris in the S6 dropped down to third place, 251. So it's a fight for silver. Not that we're awarding medals today again, this is qualifying. But if we were, 269, fourth place is Brent Womack in the S20. And 432 feet for Kale in the cool J3 Legend Cub J3 clone thing.
I think he gets the award, though, for coolest, cleanest, oldest airplane. How cool is that thing?
Yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful. What I love, one of my pet peeves about Cubs are the ones that aren't the right shade of yellow, and that Legend Cub AL3 is literally the perfect shade of Cub yellow. Sometimes you see ones that are a little too pale, or ones that are like a little too orange. I don't know. Important talk right now.
The important thing is Chris pulling on them flaps and getting up in the air. Look at him go.
"92 feet on that last takeoff. One second. Colin wants to know what his scores were, and he's announcing, so you have to do it. Here comes Steve Henry.
Letting those turbos wind up. Hear them spool, and there it goes. There it goes.
Whoa!
That thing climbs like a homesick angel, I tell you what.
I'd actually just, for once, like to see him do just like a normal takeoff. Like, what does that look like?
It's not
in that
possible.
plane?
It's not possible.
Does it just do normal ever? We don't know. I don't know if it can do that. Here comes Levi, currently second place. Full throttle on the Storch.
You know, I can't wait to talk to him around the burger barn tonight and learn a little bit more about that airplane.
There's literally a place called Burger Barn here.
Well, that's where we've been eating in Old Boys Hangar.
Oh, gotcha. I don't know if it's like an actual barn full of burgers. Okay, here we go. J3 AL3 Legend Cub. He's off the ground. Keeping it in ground effect. Get to your climb speed, and woo! He likes to climb. 169 feet on that takeoff there. Oh, Here comes the S20. Sounds like it's Rotax powered. Oh, right after the line. Get it stopped, buddy. Kind of bouncing up and down there, but better that than going over. Here comes the Carbon Cub. And I could hear the stall horn blaring through my broadcaster headphones.
He was definitely riding that prop in.
181 feet. Okay, so the battle for second. We know that Levi in the Storch is currently in second place. Right behind him, nipping at his heels, this guy in the Rands S6, 1990. Oh, scratch. That's not going to help his case, or his cause even. Casey, I don't know. Folks, we know you've been watching, taking bunches of photos, selfies, all that stuff. Make sure to hop over to Instagram, give us a follow, tag us. Username on Instagram is @NationalStol. You can see it on the flags.
Tomorrow when you come back to watch finals, make sure to bring some friends, cheer loud. Steve just hangs it on that prop and sets her down. Boom.
Boom. Wheels totally locked up. Just over 50 feet, 53 feet. That's something else. The cool thing about that plane is not many people think of this. Steve will sell you all the parts.
Well, he'll sell
build
you the
one
whole
of those.
darn plane.
Yeah, he'll sell you the whole thing if you want.
You know why that thing's called Yeehaw 6?
Yeah, because they're a bunch before it.
He sold Yeehaw 1 through 4.
Where are those planes right now? You know what?
I don't know.
I would say, though, the plane for Steve, plane's only 20% of the equation, if that. Another Bonanza flyby.
Well,
Levi.
equipment is a lot, but the pilot is everything, and that's still holds true with Steve's daughter, Sarah, too. She holds the record at the go-kart track in Reno, Nevada, where we just raced, and this young lady showed up with her own helmet and her own gloves, so I knew I was getting my butt kicked.
Here comes
I think
Levi.
she lapped me twice.
Levi in the Storch.
The girl can flat drive a go-kart. Get her stopped, Levi.
Nice. Levi also just as if he's still sporting it, when we 116 feet for
Wow.
Levi there. At Sun and Fun, he had just a beautiful mustache.
Really? Well, he is. Have you seen it here?
I haven't seen it here. I'm assuming it's also epic here, but you never know. Little boost,
All
little
right,
boost of
bud,
power.
keep that J3
Keeping
up.
it up. And like Colin mentioned before, no flaps on that Cub. Yeah, let's talk about scores. Steve Henry, new best score today, 88 feet. Levi's up to 216 now, so improved his score a little bit in the Storch.
I'm excited to hear about.
Brent Womack, 243. Oh, and that means that he pushed Cody out of third place. So Cody's in fourth, and Chris Miller qualified with 273. And Kale coming in at 377. Again, some major improvement over the 3 runs by Kale as well.
Steve giving those some ponies, showing off the ponies. Look at that engine. I don't know if it's an engine or a work of art. Sometimes I think I wish I had that engine just to put on display. Speaking of work of art, that's like a schnauzer dog.
Yeah,
They're so ugly, it's cute.
I see the mustache looking good, Levi.
And the J3 bouncing by. That's history right there. Great plane, great kid flying it. And he's in there with his shorts, his doors open, living life.
Some of my favorite memories of flying are in a J3 over some nondescript lake in Wisconsin. Maybe flying over the corn harvest or something like that. It's real like element flying. You really feel like you're part of it when you're flying the J3.
That's raw aviation. Well, folks, thanks for coming out for the first day. Like I said, later on we're going to be a lot of flying, a lot of practice. Be sure to come back tomorrow, bring a friend, see the championships, cheer these guys on, and have a great night. Get home safe. And thanks again for coming out.
So that's Colin Kaniva. I'm Ryan Dombrowski. You can find him at Old Green Plane. Give that a Google. Come get a poster from him. You will not be able to get a poster from me because I don't have any, but I'm Ryan Dombrowski from Super Aero. You can check me out Wednesdays at 8:30 Central on YouTube, Super Aero Live. Actually had one of our competitors, Brian Rose, on the show this past week. And the camera light's on, which means I should talk to the camera. Anyway, thank you so much for watching today's qualifying round at National STOL's Lonestar STOL, the Husky National STOL Series. Again, I'm Ryan, this is Colin, and we will see you guys tomorrow for the finals.
Let's do this thing. It's a party.
Woo!